What's cracking, peeps? Darren McDuffie here, alias Fat Man, helping you become perfectly healthy and toned and conscious, of course. So tonight, I'm just going to talk about something in regards to alternative and holistic treatments and why, for some people, they may not work. Now, this is not always necessarily true, but it's going to be true for most people in most instances, simply because when people are in a desperate situations, more oftentimes than not, what happens is they use an alternative or holistic treatment as the last resort. I've read several articles about people who have had cancer, and when they do have cancer, what happens with them is they use something that's not conventional to somehow say, you know what, I have this cancer, I need to get rid of my body, I need to get it out of my body so therefore I can keep on living. What people fail to realize is that we have certain beliefs, and I've talked about this, and we have these beliefs that we cannot combat, and we certainly cannot combat these beliefs when we are in a desperate situation. A lot of people come up against these situations where it's either, pardon the pun, either life or death, especially when it comes to an illness, when it comes to a fatal illness, when a doctor says that you have 6 months to live or 3 months to live. And then all of a sudden, we want to try to change our beliefs. Most people believe that only conventional doctors can heal people. So therefore, they will go from doctor to doctor to doctor to doctor, looking for healing, looking for their well-being, without ever realizing that they have to do something to change their beliefs. Whether you want to believe this or not, and I know we're talking about beliefs, or not believe it, what you want to believe is that the doctor has the power to heal you. The doctor really does not have the power to heal you. You heal yourself. What happens with most people is once they begin to go to the doctor, you have that inkling in your mind and you start saying, hey, the doctor's going to make me feel better. So therefore, when you go to the doctor, you start feeling better. When the doctor gives you the pill or the remedy, you ultimately start feeling better. So it's you who has the power to heal yourself. What the doctor's there for you is to get you into alignment. And a lot of people are out of alignment. They're out of discord and out of harmony with their bodies. People will, like I said, will go to a doctor, to another doctor, to another doctor, to another doctor, without ever realizing that they have to change their beliefs. If you look up above, I said beliefs are agreements that we make with reality. Whatever you believe will become your reality. And in order for you to get over any chronic illness, you have to change your beliefs. Most people won't even think about looking at an alternative or a holistic treatment to begin with, because they have the belief that only, like I said, a conventional doctor is able to heal them. If you want to know your beliefs, start paying attention to what's going on in your head. A lot of our beliefs are aspired by things that we see. Television is a big one. They know if they put someone in front of you in a lab coat and said the doctors recommend this, we will believe that. We've been taught to believe that people or doctors are authority figures, so therefore we should not question them. I remember when I went to the doctor a long time ago and the doctor said I had high cholesterol. He wanted me to get on a cholesterol-lowering drug, and I refused that. I told him, and I didn't know much about cholesterol at that time, but I told the doctor, I said, I will eat oatmeal until it comes out of my ears to lower my cholesterol before I go onto a cholesterol-lowering drug, because I knew from being in the pharmaceutical industry, particularly those drugs, especially a drug, I won't talk about it on this particular webinar, but I knew one drug specifically because I had inside information from being in the industry that that drug would ultimately end up fatally having complications with the liver. People will have complications with the liver from using that particular drug. So I was already in the know of that. So therefore, I would not take that particular drug. A lot of people believe in the drug climate, that the drug that they give you is going to help you, it's going to give you that well-being. But what if you change your beliefs? What if you change those beliefs? Our reality is always what we believe. I talked about things called our palace of possibilities and what we believe. A lot of people limit themselves by believing that only a conventional doctor can heal them. And you see where the medical system is somewhat, I won't say somewhat failing. I know that there's some good doctors out there, but the medical system is somewhat failing a lot of people. And I experienced this along with my mother when my mother had cancer. And they said, we've done all that we can possibly do for your mom at this point. Therefore, they were talking about what they could possibly do from a drug standpoint. And there were more things that they could possibly do, but they weren't doing them because they were limited. And when you have a certain set of beliefs, you're always going to be limited by what you believe because your reality will always be formed around that. Pay attention to the chatter that's going on in your head. A lot of people don't even love their bodies and they want to change their bodies. So if you're having a problem with weight and you have a belief that it's hard to lose weight, your reality will always be formed around that. You can't change that. I don't care how hard you try, how much action you use. You will never be able to change that if you believe that it's hard to lose weight because you are creating your reality and your reality says, hey, so-and-so believes it's hard to lose weight. So therefore, let's give them this hardness or let's give them this rigidness that it's hard for them to lose weight. So therefore, they will never be able to lose weight. If you go in from a standpoint of thought first and action second, then you get into the correct mindset and you say that, hey, it's easy for me to lose weight. It is easy to lose weight. How many people do you know have successfully lost weight? And therefore, that shatters your belief, but you have to change that belief. A lot of our things go into our subconscious and we think that, oh, we got to go through all these different elements to change our subconscious beliefs. But what you need to realize that your subconscious belief come from your consciousness. So it's something that you're telling yourself every day. You're seeing this on TV. You're seeing other people tell you the same thing over and over again. It's hard to lose weight. It's hard to eat healthy. It's hard to do all these things. So therefore, you come up with this belief. So what do? You take another record. You put it on a record player and you play a different record player. You play a different record. And you tell yourself that it's easy for me to lose weight. You can attack things from action all day. And a lot of people do this. They try to compensate for a healthy or unhealthy diet by exercising. They try to take a fat-burning pill. They try to take all these other things. But it's few and far between that we work with our beliefs and our thought patterns first and then start changing our thought patterns. We have over 50,000 thoughts a day. So there's got to be something to what you are thinking versus the action-oriented part of what you're doing. And when you start to do things from a thought perspective first, then the other stuff becomes so much easier. But it's easy for us to run around or let our minds run around like a child in a candy store grabbing every piece of candy than it is for us to just say, hey, you know what? I'm going to focus my mind more on what I want. If I want more weight loss, I'm going to focus my mind on saying that it's easy to lose this weight or it's easy for me to shed weight. I'm going to focus my mind on saying, hey, you know what? This chronic illness that I had is my guru. It's waking me up. It's telling me that something is wrong. Maybe I need to have more self-love, pour a lot more self-love on myself. Maybe I need to have more self-care. And then you start changing your beliefs around that. So start exploring your beliefs. And if you ask yourself, your beliefs will come up for you. And they'll come up for you in a very strong, powerful way because I've done this, ask myself about what beliefs do I have about my body? What beliefs do I have about my career? What beliefs do I have about anything? This is just not health. This goes into every aspect of your life and it gets into what I call consciousness. But ask yourself, what do I believe? And the quickest way to know what you believe is to see what's in your world, what's appearing in your world. What do you see on a daily basis? And then pay attention to the chatter that's going on in your mind. Again, like I said, our beliefs are agreements that we make with reality. I put that up here for you to think about. Everything is thought. Just think about what you're seeing on a daily basis. And then know that whatever you're seeing is a belief and that you can change that belief. And a lot of times changing the belief is easy. It's very easy to change a belief. But it's just that we've been thinking the same thing so long, we think that it's hard for us to change these beliefs. But it's just like putting a record on a record player. You take that old record off, you put a new one on. You know, we don't have records anymore. We have CDs and all this other stuff and iPods or whatever. But you know what I'm saying. You just put something different on and you play that in your head every day until that becomes the new belief. And a lot of times what will happen is when you take things from a thought perspective first and then from an action standpoint second, it's a whole lot easier. It's easier for me to think about, hey, how did I get this chronic illness? And then line up with the correct nutritionist or line up with the correct series of things or supplements that I need to take versus trying to attack everything from an action standpoint first. And for a lot of people who do that, they realize that it doesn't work for them. And the reason why it's not working is because they have not done anything to change their pattern of thought. You have to change your pattern of thought first and then move into the action into the action second. If you don't change that action, the thought first, then chances are you're going to repeat the same cycle over and over again. We all know someone who loses weight, gains it back. We all know someone who feels a little bit better, then they go back to being sick. It's a cycle of life with a lot of people because they have not done anything to change their thought pattern. We do not have chronic illnesses. We have chronic thought patterns that we aren't willing to change. Change what's going on in your head first, and then everything else will be much easier. Darren McDuffie, alias Fat Man, helping you become perfectly healthy and toned and conscious. Check me out on perfectlyhealthyandtoned.com and also on my podcast, Perfectly Healthy and Toned Radio. One love. I'm out, y'all.